Welcome to Metaphysically Speaking. My name is Sue, your host, and we're in the good news portion. Today my special guest is Ricky Roberts III, and he came out with a really fantastic book, What Really Matters. And this is a book about refocusing, prioritizing your goals to what really matters in life, your family, your friends. So I'm going to let Ricky talk a bit about his book. And first I'd just like to say hello and welcome to Metaphysically Speaking.
Hello. Thank you for having me here. And What Really Matters came after my first book, You, and it was a time in my life where I was spending 60 hours a week working, making money, pursuing all these things that I thought would make me happy on some level. So time and time again, I would buy these things or make more money, and I would find myself in the same place that I was before, just seeking more. And through the process of writing What Really Matters, I was evaluating my life and the things that were the choices I was making and where my focus was. So coming out of What Really Matters, I left a business that I was at for 9 years, and I was able to dissolve the business agreements and just recenter my life and stay focused on what really matters to me. So it's really a reflection that it was a place that I was in over the course of 2 years, just reflecting on my life and how so many of us get caught up in so much of things that don't really matter.
That's true. That's so true. I used to be the same way. Well, I used to work in the Postal Service and used to make a lot of money, but I wasn't really happy, to be honest with you. I really wasn't very happy with my life. It was very stressful, and the hustle and bustle of life and the stress that I brought home with me, just make me miserable all the time. And honestly, I like my life much better now. Just prioritizing and just doing spiritual things that make me happy rather than making so much money and just living for the money, basically. I just wanted to ask you, what prompted you to write your book? I know there was 2 incidents in your life that really made you focus on this.
The first book, it started off as a journal, and I was sitting in Barnes and Nobles actually, and I kind of, I was reflecting on my life and thinking about everything that I had been through and the adversities I faced in childhood. I started thinking about what it would have been like for someone to tell me the things that I have learned in my life, and if someone had told me those things growing up, what it would have been like for me. So that was the first book, and really it came with a devotion to share, just a devotion to make a difference. And one of these experiences in particular that you're talking about was at the age of 17, I was stabbed 9 times. And, in the hospital bed, I was laying there and staring up at the doctors and the nurses, staring down at me with fear in their eyes, looking at me as if I was dying. And I thought I was dying. I felt like I was passing. At that time in my life, I was filled with a lot of hostility, a lot of anger, a lot of pain, and kind of felt like the world was against me. Anytime someone talked to me about God or something higher, the universe, God, whatever word anyone uses to express their connection to higher power, whatever it is, but I denied that. I really didn't feel like it was, it existed for me because of my pain, because of my childhood. And in the hospital room that night, a chaplain came into the room, and he walked over to me and he put his hand on my forehead and he said, "Everything's going to be okay, son." And in that moment, I felt a peace that I've never felt before. It just came over me. So for the next 6.5 hours, I laid in the hospital bed, staring up at the ceiling and just knowing that I was going to be okay. I knew that I was not alone. I knew there was something greater. I knew that I was supported. And I felt that peace, and it was, like I said, it was something I never felt before. So in the next week and a half, being in the hospital, I started reflecting on my life, thinking about the choices that I was making, and realizing how much I was being controlled by the pain that I felt and the abandonment I felt as a child. You know,
You feel
I
that
started
separateness.
I started to let all that go and realize, like, here, I'm giving this chance to be here. I'm giving this chance to live my life, and now I have to choose. Now I have to choose how I use this, and from that day forward, I decided that I'm devoting my life to however I can be used in the higher good and making a difference. So it's my passion to take anything that I've experienced that's been negative and turn it positive, and anything that I will experience that could be, quote, negative, to use it, understand myself and what we're all doing here, in the higher good. So.
That's fantastic. You know, I love when people take a negative and turn it into a positive, because it only helps other people too. It is a reason why we're here, and it's a reason why we go through the things that we go through. And it's for a higher good. I believe that.
You know, I was talking to a kid the other day in the middle school, and she was telling me about her father being hooked on crack and these things, and I can relate because of my childhood, my father leaving me when I was younger, and his drug use and the abuse that went on in the home. I could relate to so much of what she was telling me. And when I looked at her and I told her, there's nothing that I would change if I could that's happening in my life, ever. I would not go back and change anything that I've been through because of who it's me today.